Welcome back to Gene Key of the Day. Today we're contemplating Gene Key 50, Corruption, Equilibrium, Harmony, the harmony of the spheres. Harmony of the spheres is the knowing that in all of this chaos, the programming partner, chaos, innovation, innocence, is a song being woven, a song being sung by the entire universe, organizing these challenges and these breakthroughs to anchor our core stability, our knowing, our equilibrium, this balance in our body, heart, and mind to be in good relationship to each other and to this planet. And that right now, even I'm physically going through some corruption in my body as I clean out some sickness from this recent travel, transmuting some of my stories, some of my patterns and relationships. And that's what I've really been taking from this key right now, as the sun illuminates this key of corruption to equilibrium, to take a deep look at the stories that we're telling ourselves and the stories that we're projecting and telling out to others. To get to the core essence of what is it that I'm really trying to say. Because corruption isn't just the big problems. There is corruption in our world, this socio-economic, these governments, these systems that are corrupting the true transmission of life that wants to serve life. And it's giving it stories that are degrading the truth over time. Corruption as a shadow, I think of the telephone game when you whisper a secret message to someone and they whisper it and they whisper it and they whisper it. And over time the message can get distorted from the person that originated that particular message. And every time it's translated and transcribed, there are tiny mutations that are changing it, sometimes corroding the truth of that vibration of that message. So this key has been asking me to take a deeper look right back into the core of what am I trying to say in my relationships, in my work, to myself. How can I clear the stories, the corrupted stories, the victim challenges that come up in my life? Because equilibrium is natural, harmony is inherent in everything. We can full of care when we speak to one another. We can dismantle and dissolve the harshness and the stories with each other. So Gene Key 50 is called the cauldron of the self, the belly, the fire that transmutes from within. And so it's a time to really go real deep with those stories and find out what is my true message and how can I transmute the old stories that have been crystallized around that simple and beautiful truth. So this key is also in the codon ring of the Illuminati. It's connected to Gene Key 44, Synarchy, which is shadow of interference. So when we have these interference patterns in our teamwork, in our teams, in our constellations, to examine that transpersonal, interpersonal dynamic, we need to bring our attention back into the corrupted stories within ourselves, within our very wound up stories around our DNA. The traumas and the triggers that we have, that's our responsibility to clean that up, to take it into the cauldron of myself. The greatest thing that I can do to be in service to others, to the world, to these larger patterns of corruption, is to anchor that equilibrium in my own being. Core stability, dynamic equilibrium with the challenges of my life, to respond with a clean and simple truth of my natural being. That's where harmony sings. While equilibrium can be lost, we can stumble in these emotional waves of our life. But harmony is always there. If we learn to listen back into that simple, sweet song, how does the universe want to sing with us? How is the composer of life rearranging our individual notes of who we are in connection to one another to provide this grand symphony? So while this key is being illuminated by the sun, let's explore how I can re-anchor into my simple, beautiful life. How can I clean up my stories for the most beneficial and loving exchange with others? How can I find the core design of how my genius is here to be in the world? Simply relaxing this idea that I am a victim to the hierarchical structure of life, that there is some sort of outside force that is crushing me, overwhelming me, telling me what I can or cannot do. Where is that fear of some bigger organism and organization, the Illuminati in its lower octave, that feeling of conspiracy that is out to get me, that is somehow disempowering me from my gifts to the world? Cosmic order is what this hexagram is called. The natural order of things. The firmament of the stars has been arranged in such a profound and perfect way. If we can relax and trust, each step is guiding us deeper into our truth. This hexagram in the I Ching is also called the offering. The gentle wood or wind being offered to the fires of purification. To listen with intuition and lightness. To light up our life with the truth of our prayer, our song. What are we here to sing? What is the most beautiful truth we could bring to this moment? And how can I learn to trust the spiral of life as it changes and moves and transforms? Sometimes it takes deep, bubbling, alchemical transformation to make real progress in the world. And it's important that we trust and we steward the integrity of the container. In fact, that's how we're going to be the best reflection for the corruption in our planet, in our systems, in our businesses, in our relationships, and in our governments. From the simplest decision to the vast, important decisions that we have to make as a planet, as a species. These decisions come from the same place, the true prayer. What are we feeding that fire of our life, of our desire? Are we feeding it with the story that we want to tell in our universe? It's good to offer up that which no longer serves. That's how we purge some of these old, corroded stories. And we harness a dance, an equilibrium that's able to play with reality, innovation, innocence, to play with reality in integrity. By harnessing the integrity in this cauldron, by being in your truth, listening softly to what that truth is, and then standing strong in the fires of purification as everything that is not true is burned from this field. That's how we can be in integrity as teams, too. The greatest thing that we can do in service to our teams is to really be in honest integrity with ourselves. So thank you for listening to this contemplation of corruption to harmony. How can we rebalance our lives, our literal world around us in our home? Clean up the stories, make things simpler. Find what is true for you and follow it with a devotion, with a love, with a trust, with patience. And this grand story of our life and the drama of the human race, we are entering into important times of initiation. And its greatest benefit comes about when we relax into the truth of who we are and reflect that to our family, to our community, to the world. What's the story that we're writing? So we write the right now.